Okay, sending out the social medias. And let me check the tubes right quick. So that's that. That's that.
It says, I don't know. I forgot. I forgot to not forget to cut off the Wi-Fi's on the tablet, so I don't know.
Let's see if it showed up on my thing. Oh, there we go. Yes, we are live.
I don't believe it.
We are.
No.
Insanity.
Nope. It's clear. See, Jill's clearly messing with us.
Uh-huh.
It's all a ruse. That's what it is. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to the pre-show Zen. We're just setting the things up for another Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays. It's going to be the last one with Pedro from Porto.
Yes, the Portuguese correspondent is moving to the UK, so I'll be the British correspondent. Well, on loan British correspondent.
I give it a week, man. You're going to miss your cork trays.
Let's see. Well, I used to have a lot of those around me when I lived with my parents, but nowadays not anymore. There aren't really a whole lot of cork trees up here.
No? Not so big on the cork trees?
Yeah. Down south, there's a lot of them, but here,
Plenty of fish. Yeah?
oh yeah, plenty of fish. Love fish. I hate it. I really do.
You don't like fish? It sounds
No.
like something I might have known about you.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to take you to so many fish fries when you come to the States.
I mean, it depends on the fish. I don't mind tuna. And certain dishes, if they don't taste like fish, I will eat them.
All right. So, see, in my brain, I've already narrowed this down. It's like, Venn, all you need is fish flavoring.
I don't like just do regular taste of. I don't like it.
Right. Hi, we got Jill, Josh. We know Mir's here.
Yes. Thank you, Jill.
Speak for yourself, Jill.
If the internet is up and running by then, which I doubt, they said it would be
Too
on
late,
the
son.
11th.
You've already been replaced.
No, I said I was going to say I may join into chat realm, but yeah, no, they say that it's probably going to be set up on the 11th. That's Tuesday, so yeah. Good, quote unquote, luck, quote unquote, on your move. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you.
It'll be good times, man. I mean, it's I don't know.
It's a whole new country.
It's an island.
Yeah.
Give that. Derp, derp.
I'm moving to No Salt and Sanctuary, but we've already finished that one. There may be another one. If the internets do get set up, I will be streaming probably Sacred Gold. Because old Linux RPGs, why not? Yeah, I'm moving to Cambridge, Josh.
He's moving to an island. Pedro's infinite wisdom. And I was like, dude, I escaped, all right? I got free. Pedro's like, brilliant, I'll move there. It's like, oh, fine.
I will be saying there, the plan is Nori is going to get an illustration degree from Anglia-Ruskin University. So that'll take 3 years, give or take. So if we stay there for 3-4 years, it's probably good enough. Might stay the 5th to qualify for permanent permanent something status.
Resident.
Resident status, yeah.
That'll be fun. You can go terrorize Feral.
Yeah. Although I might run into Liam.
And?
I don't mind it. He probably will. Let's see. Mir has Sacred on disc. I used to have, let's see, it was Sacred, the OG Sacred and the expansion on separate discs. Then they just released the Sacred Gold, which was both of them combined. Don't forget to bring a towel. I would have said an umbrella because it rains a lot, but towel's okay too.
I accidentally clicked on something on Audacity. I was like, uh-oh, broke something. Apparently I didn't. That's all. That's good. Okay, audio level seem legit. Yeah, Jill, that's frighteningly accurate. Frighteningly accurate.
Calling everyone mate, but will you pronounce it mate?
Nah, man, who'll call him cinnamon?
Budgie. Although the correct pronunciation, since it's Spanish, would be mate.
I think it's 32 degrees right now.
I don't know how it is right now because I don't have the temperature thingy set up on this laptop. But it was 28 at 8:30 when I woke up. So yeah, it's warm.
Yeah, it's a bit of note. Because I think around 8 or whenever I decided to check with the tip, it was already 25. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Then when I checked again, it was already 30. It was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and cut the air on.
I had to wake up at 8 because my mom sent me some stuff that I wanted to bring with me.
My mom sent me a text message. She does occasionally.
Okay.
It's like, how are you doing? Apparently it rained a lot outside of Stuttgart, and she was complaining about her tomato plants were flooded.
Yeah. Hasn't rained here since 2 days ago, but it rained for a whole of 5 seconds and then it stopped. 2 minutes later, the sky was blue again.
I think it's rained every day here for about a month, so I'm not...
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. My biggest...
The rain, if I don't have to leave the house for anything, I don't mind the rain. It's when I have to leave to go places that's the issue.
No. You see, I try to work around this, ladies and gentlemen, is... You give it about 30 minutes. You check the weather first. You have to plan this out. This is some next level antisocial maneuvering here. You see, there's a good front coming in. You give it about 20 minutes. Then you go to where you need to go, because then everyone else is like, "Oh, it's raining. I'm not getting out in this." And they usually don't drive, so you have to deal with less people.
Yeah. There was one time that I was driving. It's back when I worked as a doorman at the campsite. I was driving from work back home, and sure, the weather was a bit cloudy, but nothing spectacular. All of a sudden, it starts raining, and it starts raining so bad I couldn't see like 10 meters in front of me. It's like, okay, we're slowing down.
I just pull. Well, sometimes I'm scared to pull over on the side of the road because I always see people like go flying by me.
Mm-hmm.
And once it paid off. Like, I'll be seeing you in a ditch in a minute. Sure enough. Me being me, I stopped and helped them though.
I remember I actually pulled over when I was driving back down to university. Because it started raining really bad. It was on a highway. Okay, let's just pull over for a little bit. Had a bit of coffee. The rain eased off. Good enough. Started driving about 10 clicks down the road. There were two cars on their roofs, wheels up in the air, and I could see the people like trying to get out from inside. It's like that was actually kind of scary.
All right. I think I have most of the things organized, set up, ready to go, kind of. I think everyone had a good, here in the States, they enjoyed the freedom crackers they like to ignite.
Well, since I am moving to the UK, I can call it Treason Day.
Yeah, good riddance day. Trust me, I've seen it from both ends, son. There are people in my community with too much money, which we've established. Because like 10:30 last night, I was hearing the mortar cannon go off. I mean, you would hear the thump. Whoa, somebody. Those things are like 50 quid a pop.
Yeah.
Follow that. Okay. Doop doop.
Last week here, there were a lot of fireworks, but that's because of the Holy Saints. It's the celebrations, and some places still celebrate that.
You can definitely hear it on our Saturday show if you want to go back and listen to that when we were under attack by enemy forces. You couldn't hear anything from Jordan's end, even though he's next to a park, but he's like 16 stories in the air in Toronto.
Yeah.
So. Gypsy, some places are like that.
Yeah. That's most roads outside of like highways. That's most roads here in Portugal.
It's a scenic place. Okay, I'm gonna go get a quick top off on the Urch Cup, and
yes,
we're gonna get.
I'll stick around. Yeah, over here it's the mainland Portugal has similar like territory-wise, it's in about similar size as the state of Georgia, and it's a bit thinner, but there are only like 13 million people living here, so yeah, plenty of free room. Not so much here in Ohio or Michigan. We deal with snow and like room to fuck up. Okay. Yeah, most highways here in Portugal only have 2 lanes, so you can't really fuck up. You fuck up bad enough, you'll end up going the wrong way.
Trying to get these headphones, gotta get used to them. They're hurting my earring.
That's one of the reasons I like this headset. It's big enough to get all around my ears and it doesn't crimp anything.
I can't do that. These things are noise canceling, and that makes me sketchy enough. All right, silence doesn't work with me. I'm miswired, ladies and gentlemen. I almost attacked a fan like 10 minutes ago because I cut it off, and it was sitting on just a little box thing around the corner, and I saw just the fan blade slowly coming to an end. I was cycling as I was walking by, and I was like, I don't know what that is. Let's attack it. And that was my first reaction. I was like, no wonder you get hurt so much, dumbass. Normal, healthy reaction is like, what's that? No, let's kick its ass and ask questions.
Come here, boy.
Not my proudest moment. All right. I think we're ready to get into this. Boop. Boop.
Okay, I think that is all we need for the time being.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we take that midweek break to sit back, relax, and talk about some of the Linuxy things that we personally found interesting going on. This week is no exception because System 76 has launched their new distro. It's called Pop. But they're not the only ones. Stick around for that business, and AMD has gained some of that sweet market share. And well, as Linux users, we tend to always root for the underdog. But these metrics, Pedro, they might not be legit.
They might not. But we'll also talk about the biggest Linux kernel release yet, just like every single release before it. And the FSF blesses a few more hardware bits. Stallman's flaming katanas are used for good, once again.
Well, it's going to be a fun time. And yes, it's another great day for Linux, everyone.
Yeah.
Pedro, last episode.
Last episode from Portugal. I hopefully will be back in time for next week's Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays and the stream before it, hopefully.
So you're just going to be fish and chips and...
Oh yeah, fish and chips. I am moving to the Queensland, not the one in Australia, but the actual Queensland, the UK itself. And I'm moving on Friday. That's why we actually have a bit of an Australian correspondent filling in for me this week.
It's going to be brilliant.
Yes.
Hey man, let's jump right into this.
All right, so as I mentioned, this is the biggest kernel release yet, and it was so big, in fact, that Linus Torvalds decided to, when he pushed out the announcement saying, "Yep, it's released, it's good, have at," he said that the changelog was so big that he couldn't fit it all in the announcement email that he sent to the mailing list. But what comprised almost half of the new code that made it into the Linux kernel was, surprisingly, the initial support for the Radeon RX Vega. Yeah, the new, not the Radeon Vega that came out, the Frontier Edition as they call it, that came out a few days ago. It's the Radeon RX Vega that is yet to be released.
AMD and their branding, man. It's
yeah.
We love you, AMD, but oof. Work on it. It's a wee confusing.
It's still not as bad as the Shield, or the Shield, or the Shield, or the Shield. Yeah. And the new kernel also brings the BFQ and the Kyber schedulers. It has support for proper USB Type-C port management. That's if you have a bunch of different USB Type-C ports, and let's say you have something that's connected to one of the ports that's not using all that much power and is actually idle, it can actually set all of those bits appropriately now. And the like I said, it's almost half of the new code that made it into the kernel is for AMD's new GPU. So I guess that's a bit of a change.
Well, that is the thing. I mean, a bunch of cool things in there. A lot of fun business. One thing I noticed, there's the basic, just the initial open source accelerated, keyword there, accelerated support for the NVIDIA GTX 1000 series. Now,
that's good.
That's very good. Don't run out. I was like, I'm going to do all the things with that. It's still extremely slow right now, but it's a thing. And considering how cagey NVIDIA is with the open source stuff, any progress is best progress in that area. So, are you immediately going to upgrade to the 4.12?
No. I'm going to wait until the Zen team, the Licorix team.
As Pedro recalls it, well, no, you see, Venn, last time I burnt my system to the ground and spent a day fixing it.
Well, it wasn't a day, it was like 6 hours, but yeah.
That was definitely a thing. Up next, the fine folks at System 76, hey man, they have pop _ OS.
I mean, that's Threadripper level of marketing right there.
Yeah, this is also some poorly shooping right here, man. Sorry, that's for a different time. Go back and watch the video version, audio listeners. It's a thing. It's GNOME-based. Going to be perfectly honest, just right off the bat here, I'm definitely at the age where I'm kind of over distros. Give me Hannah Montana Linux. I'm going to be happy. Just give me something that boots with a network stack. Let me loose. So what is it? Pop-OS, it's GNOME with a skin job with the custom System 76 drivers throw it in for the mix. Hey, man, it's, what's his name?
Again, remember, his name is the Linux Gamer.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understand why they did this, Pedro, because they were based on Unity.
Yes.
Then Ubuntu just torched that and said, next. So they went to GNOME instead of default GNOME. They've kind of given it a skin pack, made it look a little better. And I understand having like your own integrated just kind of look and feel to everything. It's like, this is ours, we can't take it away. But I want to throw this in before you get back to me. I don't know, just a single person who has purchased, be it from, there's a couple of Linux distributors, even if you get something from Lenovo or Dell, that any pre-built really, it doesn't really come down to a laptop that just doesn't go scorched earth policy on whatever's on the hard drive and just wipe it and put back the operating system of choice.
Yes, in fact, I did actually a bit more than that. I went the extra step when I bought this particular laptop that I'm doing this from right now. I flipped it over, cracked open the bottom, removed the hard drive that it came with, and put in a 250 gig SSD. So yeah, it's like fresh start. But yeah, no, and the pop theme, according to Strider anyway, you know, that guy is a little too important to join us nowadays, yeah. He loves the pop theme, and apparently System 76 have their own PVA, which you can use to download the pop theme and download their drivers and the pop icon theme and everything else. So why are they releasing an ISO with their OS? Did they absolutely have to? I don't know, honestly.
Some people like the CDs, man. I mean, why do you have this unjustified mortal hatred towards writable media?
I don't. I have a flash drive around here somewhere, and I use it a lot. Yeah.
Well, you have an ISO. I mean, you're going to take it and turn it into a bootable thumb drive from the ISO.
Yeah,
so
you can, but it's basically what's going to be the new Ubuntu or Ubuntu GNOME, because let's just face it, now Ubuntu is going to have 2 GNOME 3 variants. Yeah, no, now we have a third one, which is called pop bang underscore OS.
Sure. Nothing to be sour about, though, is it?
Oh, no. But you see, System 76, they're not the only ones spinning their own OSs. The fine folks behind the Tuxedo Computers, they are a German group that releases Ubuntu-powered, or used to release Ubuntu-powered laptops. And now they are releasing Tuxedo Subuntu, Shubuntu, Zubuntu, however you want to say it, 1604 LTS, which is their own customized version of Zubuntu with a different wallpaper and theme. But they also come with plenty of tweaks, a newer kernel version. They have optimized RAM and battery usage on their laptops. And honestly, if you ask me, this is still not a good enough reason to release yet another Ubuntu-based distro. But I guess in their case, it's slightly more justified than pop bang underscore OS.
Could be. It's a new thing, man. Everybody's doing it. Next thing, Microsoft will release their own distro. Wait, they already have.
It's called Sonic.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
It's kind of terrifying. They make some claims though about Tuxedo Computers, about their new. It's XFCE based. Good on that. Best desktop in the world. Desktop manager. They claim the battery life is going from what were they running? Mate.
Yes.
It was like 6 hours, and with their distribution, it was 12 hours. I was like, what's the screen
That's,
on 1%
yeah.
brightness? Yeah, I didn't. It's a little fishy. But again, I'm going to say step number 1. I don't care where you buy it from, who you are, is just wipe it and put the OS of your choice on there. Download whatever they want to put on there. Because, Pedro, you never know what's around the corner.
Oh, no, you don't. But this bit of news made the rounds this week. It comes from the Hacker News, and they say that WikiLeaks reveals CIA malware that hacks and spy on Linux computers.
That does it. I'm going back to Windows, man.
Oh, yeah, that's 24/7 NSA surveillance, so you're either dealing with one or the other.
Hi, NSA.
Dick. Hi, NSA. Love you guys. In any case, so this teeny tiny exploit allowed the CIA to redirect all outbound network traffic on the whatever box you were running, usually a server, to sort of man in the middle that was a CIA controlled box where they could snoop on everything you were doing. Now, this only works with Red Hat and CentOS 6 and the default 2.6.32 kernel that they use. So if you have a different kernel version, it doesn't work. If your sysadmin is doing his job, just a couple of IP tables commands and poof, that's gone. And you can't actually actively, remotely exploit, that's a lot of Ys, exploit this particular thing without a third undisclosed exploit. So we don't honestly know just how many boxes are affected, and like most of the news that we get about, oh, this new malware can also target Linux computers. Yeah, and how are you going to deploy it exactly? Because that's the bit that's worrisome. It's like, okay, can you remotely exploit it to get it to my box at any point? And we don't really get that from this.
I don't know,
story.
man. I mean, the CIA, people working for the quote-unquote company.
Mm-hmm.
If you got physical access, you got different problems, but I can understand the benefit of maybe having physical access benefits, air quotes around that, getting something on a box. But, yeah, you do how many cent boxes or enterprise? This was patched immediately.
Yes. And honestly, there are a lot, because that's one thing Red Hat and CentOS do, which is they do a lot of kernel backporting. They don't exactly update the kernel version. They keep the same base version, but they backport all of the security patches, some new hardware feature patches, everything they think is relevant. They backport it into the 2.6 point whatever version. And to be fair, let's see, CentOS and Red Hat 6 will be supported at least until November 30th, 2020. So yeah, there's still probably a lot of people using it.
So you're saying this is a little bit more booga booga than I should go grab some petrol, cover my Linux box, and Hendrix it, right?
No, it is, until we know exactly how they are remotely deploying this. I mean, if you're giving someone physical access to your box, you have bigger things to worry about.
Could one of them be AMD's market share?
No, I think Intel's starting to think that now.
I don't know. Okay, WCCF Tech. All this business in our show notes. It's kind of brilliant. AMD has taken up a reported 10.4 CPU share from Intel in Q2 2017 using the data provided by Passmark's survey. So, yeah,
it's a fair comparison, for being honest. We'll have to see the latest Steam hardware survey for another completely unreliable statistic point. But yeah, it's a fair enough thing, I guess. It's a benchmark. A lot of people run it.
This benchmark, well, let's just say this benchmark, this report, air quotes around that, it doesn't include, consoles, which, come on, AMD's in all the consoles, or any computer systems, basically anything not running Windows. And it kind of, because this story made the rounds, and we're running right now on an 8150, and our upgrade path is a Ryzen 1700. Yeah, we're not going Intel. So what I'm about to say is AMD fanboys just went, yeah, Intel's dead. We got it. It's like using this metric. What this metric is, ladies and gentlemen, is a bunch of people who just got their Ryzen 5s, their Ryzen 7s running home. What do? You benchmark it. That's what you do. That's your uptick. Now, for the Intel decline, yeah, of course. Because the i5s are wicked cheap, and they have great performance. The i7s, multimedia, the stuff that we do with the streaming video production that we do here at LGC Actual, yeah, man, to get the comparable from the 1700 to what I need for the Intel parts, I'm looking at close to $1,000. So there's no way. And we can hear the ghost of Strider going, play games, It'll play games good enough, man. Don't worry about it. I think it'll be brilliant.
And compared to even just going from an old bulldozer, pile driver, excavator core to a Ryzen core, the single-threaded performance gain is like 40%. That's pretty good. And if you looking at the specific the graph that they have on the article here, you can see that around Q4 2005 was when AMD and Intel were almost neck and neck. And basically then AMD just started dropping off right up until now. So yeah, if you are to take that particular metric at face value, that looks like competition. Intel's not dead by any means of the imagination, but I think that may have been a slight kick in the bum because there hasn't been any competition for so long that Intel kind of forgot it existed.
Wow, I don't think they forgot. But the i9s, man, the i9s.
Oh yes, the i9s. Let's pay 200. What was it? $2,200 for
the i9s
top
are a confusing part. The i9s were released released whenever they come out, so Intel could go. But these are going to be lower price. You see, the Ryzen's didn't cause us to reduce the price of our i7 line. See, we're not reacting to that. We don't know. Neither one of them ever is going out of business, but competition is brilliant. This is good. It's not as satisfying as when what was it, the Thunderbird came out? Was that like 2000, 2001?
Slot K5?
No, Slot A.
Oh, okay.
The one that just came out and crushed Intel in performance.
Yep. That's when Intel started cheating on the benchmarks.
Oh, they did all type of like sketchy, wicked stuff to AMD. But, soulless corporations, which they both are, ladies and gentlemen, are going to soulless corporations. So pick your sides accordingly.
Okay, speaking of a corporation that may have a little bit of a soul left in it, it's the Free Software Foundation. They are the Stallmanites, the people who are out there fighting for your right to use free software, whether you want to or not. They don't care. They're in it for the free software. That's it. Nothing else. And, well, they are doing a pretty good job when it comes to evaluating when other people say that, look, we have a new free software compliant. It's completely free, completely open source. You can do, the hardware is not running any particular shady blobs. You can do everything. So the FSF goes in and they drop their seal of approval. And with this latest bunch of hardware, they, well, let's see, it was a bunch of ThinkPads, X200s, T200s, T400s. They also put their seal of approval on an Optron 6276 motherboard, so that's something. And USB, Wi-Fi's, and Bluetooth adapters for both internal and external use. So that's a lot of useful software, hardware right there, getting the stamp of the FSF approval.
And Stallman is just putting down those flaming containers. He's like, hey, man, you stuff to buy.
Yep.
Because that man does talk the talk, and I know Stallman's a complete whack job. That's why I personally love him.
Yep.
But yeah, he lives what he says, man. I know a lot of people run around screaming and preaching, and they don't. I mean, it's like open hardware and all that business. This is good FSF doing the flying spaghetti monsters work, and just brilliant. Yep. Love stuff like this. Wanted to give that a quick mention. So Pedro, you want to build a botnet?
That's where you were going with that. I saw you put that on the notes. It's like, where's he going with that? Now I see it.
Friend up. Okay. Point release. It's here. The internet now on your computer. It's breaking news, man. This seems to be another web-based operating system. Turning any like computer or PC into a thin client. FriendUp comes complete with a powerful kernel-like web server that supports multiple. Yeah, this is. Hey, man, they got a GitHub. I'm kind of feeling the unintended consequences that are going to come rolling during this. Help me out. I'm scared.
Honestly,
I'm terrified.
I don't. The botnet thing seems to be the most likely one, but in its essence, it is a good idea. It's a desktop operating system, completely web-based, that you can share with everyone, so you and your friends and your coworkers can all get together and work on a project, which, if it is a project that needs its own underlying OS, you can use FriendUp. Sure. In essence, that is what I think. I think it's a good thing, but it's going to be abused like crazy.
I wish him the best of luck. Hey, if you're sitting there screaming on the other end, is like, but this use case, hit the contact button, go to linuxgamecast.com. Let us know. Right. This is definitely one of those. So, I think we got one little thing before we get out of here.
Yeah. Another very quick mention. If you watch that Saturday show with a foul mouth, What We Do.
I'm sorry, ladies. I tried my best to keep the gaming stuff out here. Pedro is just insistent.
Oh, no. I posted this one in because it's just a quick update, because if you've been watching that other show, you know that RPCS3 is a PS3 emulator, which not only makes with the Linux, but it also supports Vulkan. Now, over the past few weeks, they had been mentioning that they would like to replace the old WX widgets-based UI with something a bit more modern, say using Qt. And good on them, they now have a fully laid out plan. Everything, they already have a couple of screenshots of the new Qt layout. It looks good. It looks like it fits. They have Windows 7 screenshots, so take that for what you will. But it looks like really well done implementation, and if they keep that up for the rest of the emulator, we're good. Just to get all the rest of the games to work.
There's definitely some things with this project. They've made leaps and bounds, especially with their Vulkan implementation, especially under Linux. Linux performance is in parity with the Windows version, and that's not something I normally get to say for an emulator. We'll definitely be covering this in depth, because this is more of a lighter show on Saturday, which is stranger. On our insane show, we'll be doing the more technical stuff. It will be fun. I say good on them. You know, what did you say they were using? Like WX widgets? Yeah,
they started with WX widgets.
Well, got to start somewhere. At least Qt. Yeah. So I was like, why don't you use GTK? But, you know, there's somebody out there screaming that right now.
Strider, how you doing?
That's definitely a thing. So, I think we got a slice of pie we want to rock out and a little bit of feedback. But before we get that, we need to say thank you for helping make this show possible, because this show is a Patreon goal that we hit and we've maintained for over a year.
Yep. A whole of 73 episodes counting this one, and a few of the betas, but we don't really count those. Okay, so if you would like to throw money in our direction, there are several ways you can do it. You can go to linuxgamecast.com, you hit the support button. It's pretty easy. You get the links to our Patreon, you get the Amazon affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything. As long as you're shopping through Amazon, we get a teeny tiny bit up the top. And we know for a fact that a lot of you have been doing some Amazon shopping with those links. So thank you. Thank you all very much. There's also PayPal Donato buttons and a QR code for the Magic Internet Monies. But two people decided it was a good idea to throw some recurring wet stinkies our way. Mr. Peter Adams, thank you. He became a new Patreon. And Dan Testerman upped this pledge, so thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Peter's pretty cool, man. Tester the man. You got to watch out for him. He's cool on a whole different level, man. It's kind of frightening. But yeah, man, come check out our Patreon stuff. We did another round of Feud. Space Australia, Portugal, Space Canada, North America. We kind of rocked on.
That's a very international brand of food right there.
And it's letting us do some other live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So much of us, you might get a little bit sick, and you're going to get access to your own custom RSS feed if you like the audio. There's a show a lot of people don't even know about, which is our pre-super show. And it's a little bit of this, a little bit of gaming, and a little bit of behind-the-scenes magic, personal life. It's not a show.
And absolutely no filter.
There's no notes. We sit down and hit record an hour before every Saturday train wreck. So come check that out. Come get some cool stuff in return. We appreciate your support. It's been awesome. Also, access to the Discord. We're in there the other 6 days of the week talking our nonsense. But Oh,
Yum, yum, yum.
I forgot
Slice
the
it up.
Amazon wish list. Okay.
Oh, yes,
we
the
got
Amazon
that.
wish list. I forgot that too.
I was going to put a pink chair on there, but I've decided not to. We got some stuff for the studio that we plan on buying. It's just listed here. If you want to enable the Game Shark cheat mode for us, and like seriously help us out, go give that a peek. All under the support button. But now let's have that slice.
Indeed. So, there was a different story here at the start of the week. I actually didn't read this one. So what's this about, Ben?
Oh man, what, you expect me to read this stuff and run the show?
You put it in. You have to know.
All right, it's a simple Pi-based camcorder using a very nice hyperpixel touchscreen from PIM or any people. Name your stuff better. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. Just help me out here. No, man, this is taking a Pi Zero W. There's the little bit of soldering involved here, but not much to it, man. You know, LiPo battery pack, nothing to that. You put the screen on it, camera module for the Pi Zero. That's it, and tape, of course. You need tape for any proper project. Even.
And zip ties.
Yeah, man, and you can make a portable little camcorder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of neat, actually. Yeah. You're going to need a better lens, and someone's going to have to work on a proper sensor for the Raspberry Pi camera module, but that's neat.
This is just a fun project. This is something you can take to schools or anything like that and just stick it together and say, hey, let's do this. No one gets blown up, and it's not terribly dangerous. The only kind of small issue right now is the way to initiate recording is by SSHing into it, which I kind of secretly love that. I was like, oh, that's
you could
cool.
easily, since it's just a command you need to run, you could easily wire up a button to the GPIO pins, and just when you hit it, if it's not running, it
Trigger
starts
a script,
running.
hit it, Control C. That's basically
yeah.
what you got to do. But yeah, a link to that'll be in the show notes. Go check that out. Like I said, that might be a fun little weekend project, especially if you have the children things, and give it a look. So, maybe
I guess
you want to talk to us? Maybe they want to. People don't want to talk to us, Pedro. What are you talking about?
Yes, they do. Let's be honest. We're constantly talking out of our rear ends, so people feel the need to correct us. Consistently, especially me, because I am the one most guilty of that. But I recognize my shortcomings. So if you'd like to remind me of how much I am wrong and how much I suck, you can go to linuxgamecast.com. You hit the contact button. You fill out the form. Make sure to pick LWDW. I'm not fake news. I'm not.
I don't know where that came from, man. I'm over here. I'm working the show right now. I'm switching the board.
And you can leave us your message, correction, suggestion, anything you'd like to shout in our direction. We will be happy to hear your feedback. So this week, what do we have? We have 2 bits of feedback.
Coming up first, man, Joel, because Pedro was talking about some stuff he knew about last week, I think, maybe. He's writing about the hyperthreading. There was a little bug last week. We talked about it. We rapped about it for a hot second. He's like, hey, man, note. That's how you know it's serious. Note. The user space microcode updates only are confirmed to fix older Skylake stepping, because that was kind of the issue, not Cabby Lake parts, which still require BIOS update, which roll in the vendor-only distributed Intel microcode. So
that's an issue.
That's Moonspeak, man. What does he mean by that?
Okay, so last week, if you remember, we were talking about a bug that was discovered early in January this year, that if you were running a certain workload, and it was actually a OCaml developer that found it, if you were running a certain type of workload, it's a very specific, but it would cause your processor to start misfiring if you had a Skylake processor or a Kaby Lake processor. Now, I also mentioned the old Skylake bug, but that's not this. This is specific for the stepping issue that was discovered, and the only way to actively work around it so you don't, lose stuff, because the moment your processor
was to buy a Ryzen, Team Red.
The moment your processor hits that stepping bug, it will be misfiring left and right, losing active jobs that threads are working on. It will corrupt your system, anything you're working on. It's bad. It's a really bad bug. So you'll have to power flush it, bring it back up for it to stabilize. But this microcode that we talked about last week apparently is only for Skylake. Kaby Lake, you still need to go and disable the hyperthreading in the UEFI BIOS, whatever you want to call it, unless you get a BIOS update, which comes with the Intel distributed microcode, as Joel mentions. That's good to know, actually.
No, man, disable your hyperthreading. Know what it's like to have a bulldozer part in your system.
Quad-core bulldozer, yes.
Yeah, the struggle is real. Last but not least, Hedger. Okay.
With a H. Okay, so he says, hey guys, I'm behind the times and was planning on buying a solid-state disk for my Linux tower. Do I need anything special or can I plop it in? Recommendations. Things I should look out for. Really? 4? All right. Now, basically all I can say at this point is to stay away from the Samsung 850 Pros and the 840 EVOs. Venn has an 840 EVO. He can tell you all about that.
Brilliant. Love it. Best SSD in the market.
No, it's bad. Stay away from it. Now, price per gig right now
lasted
isn't as
longer
good
than
as...
the one that noped on you.
No, the one that noped on me was already almost 6 years old, so it was past its due date. The price per gig right now isn't as good as it used to be, but the 250 gig 750 EVO that I have in this laptop right now cost me 60 euros at the time, so that's 24 cents a gig. That's pretty good. And I was discussing SSDs with Martin Wimpress a while back, and he says that the current generation of Toshiba/OCZ ones are pretty good. I would just add that you probably should stay away from the Trion series, because those have been reportedly very, very flaky. Yeah.
That's all cute. Let me summarize what Pedro was trying to communicate. You don't have to talk to anyone because it's 2017. So you can basically just buy whatever. That's right. Seriously. In all honesty, SSDs, they're a commodity now. They're cheap. They're not the hyper-expensive boon devices that they used to be. And you're talking to a person with $1,000 at that time of SSDs when we first started. I bought a terabyte worth. Fun times. You know, basically whatever you end up with, it's going to be better. Ludicrous. It's going to be the speed different. It'll go plaid compared to any.
It's completely incomparable.
And we're talking about if you're buying like Frank's SSD shop with whatever. If it nopes, all right, it's got a warranty on it. If I had to see, I don't like recommending stuff, Pedro, because the second I recommend something, somebody's going to buy it in 5 years from now. 5 years. It's going to die. They're going to
hold you accountable, yes.
It's going to die. And they're going to be like, Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays and Venn Stone's just full of it, man. They recommended this SSD that I only writ 30 petabytes to, and it died after only 5 years. And that's going to be a thing. So I'll say this, like personally, if I'm looking for something that's kind of on the cheap, but I don't want to worry about it noping, but you might be looking for the expensive stuff. Go for it. I like Kingston's. They're not the fastest things by a long shot.
And they're not the fastest in sequential writes or sequential reads. But when it comes to like random IOs, they do pretty good. But then again, every single SSD does pretty good when compared to the slow hard drive.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Samsung still makes good discs.
They make the 750 EVOs, which, like I said, is the one I bought for this box because they were supposed to be OEM drives, but most retailers just started selling them piecemeal. So you can go out and get one. They're very, very cheap. And as for your can you just plop it in question, yeah, you could just plop it in.
And now we have the whole world of M.2 form factor drives.
Oh, yes.
So.
NVMe is the hot new sauce, and there's going to be Intel's Optane. Well, they already released that teeny tiny one that can act as cache for your hard drive. Yeah.
And it's been weird because I bought one of the first Intel SSDs and it was great. It was life-changing till I did the first firmware update because that thing just got trashy
and
slow.
you nuked everything.
That's what it did. It didn't say anywhere that this will fix your speed issues, and they never put anywhere, not even in the mice type. It'll also format the drive, but I sold that thing about for what I paid for it, and it was small too. This was like first gen, unaffordable. We're talking $500-600. But these days, yeah, I mean they're commodities. You just go pick one up, like you would just go to the hard drive store and pick up a hard drive. You just go to the SSD store through our affiliate link, shameless plug, and do that, and you don't really have to worry about anything. I think most modern distributions are going to have, FS trim built in, or
you could use BTRFS, and if you're not Strider, chances are you're going to be good with it.
And I look forward to somebody running out and buying an SSS. I'm reading the title of the hate mail. Right? If you don't believe me, go check the show notes. That's what my brain was doing. I was like, that's too many S's. I don't even remember where I was going with that. All right. I think
you go down to the SSD store and
you just buy one. They just work. You put them in and they work. Jordan's going to be getting some M.2 drives with his UEFI, and it's going to be NVMe drives, I should say. So he's going to have adventures to report. Maybe we'll get him on one week to discuss. But that's going to do it, man. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been crazy. I might have accidentally learned something, which is just kind of horrifying.
Insanity.
Terrifying. But if you want to check us out, linuxgamecast.com. We do the gaming show. This is Patreon, Gold, stuff like that. We don't do ads. It's kind of brilliant. We do it all with your support. That way, you might not agree with anything we say, but no one's pulling our strings. So if you give us a hand with that, it would be cool. We'd really dig that. But if you want to talk to me, I'm at Vinstone on Twitter, plus Vinstone G+. Search me on Google, and this fine young cannibal over here.
Why, hello there. I am Pedro Mateos. I am saying goodbye to you for this week, and goodbye to my country for a few years, hopefully, because I'm moving, and I don't care. Right now, I don't really care. If you want to talk to me, though, you can do so. That's at unaccounted for, or the other way, at unaccounted for down here, on Twitter, or plus Pedro Mateos on Google+.
All right. We'll see you next week, beautiful party people. Bye-bye.
Yes.
End credits.
All right.
Okay, so we got out of that in 38 minutes.
Hey, we're under 40. Woohoo!
Wasn't too bad. Not a heavy, newsy week though, because of holiday.
No. Yeah. It was Canada Day, and then it was Treason Day, and then it was those were the two big ones.
Well, when Freedom Land stops, everything stops.
Well, the internet, for being honest, because Google is American, for better or worse. So yeah. Hi, NSA. How you guys doing?
Thank you, Amon X.
Yeah, thank you, Amon X. And Steve, yeah. Don't worry, I'll be getting a 200-pound one. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I will have to get a comfy chair because my lower back starts to complain if I'm not in a comfy chair or holding the correct position. And since this chair is only comfy if I'm in the correct position, it helps.
He's so full of it. He's a little princess. That's all it is.
No, I have the back all the way forwards. That's about as forward as it gets.
Like I said, you're a little princess.
Hey, at least my chair doesn't pop and I hit my coccyx on the floor.
And you get back up and you do it again. What do you? I don't think you're proving the point you were going for there, son. I mean, princess.
Come on, 2 more and you gotta buy a size Snickers.
See, it's not the chair you want; it's the chair you need.
I went into the backyard today to have a smoke, and I saw there were like 2 lawn chairs next to each other, and I thought, do I go back up the stairs, get my phone, take a picture, post it on Google Plus,
No,
say it's a
what
Strider?
you do? Because Nori's like, Nori, what? And she looks out the window. You like point at her, and you're like, 2 chairs.
No, I was just going to take a picture, post it on Google Plus, say, look, it's a Strider, and just leave it at that. But I couldn't be asked to come back up the stairs, so I did.
Yeah, I had a townhouse in the city at one point, and hide your kids' language filters off if you haven't realized. Yeah, fuck stairs. I was in great shape, though, because I was smoking at the time. This sounds counterproductive, because it was. Having this, I was smoking like Pedro. Pedro was good for about 30 minutes. And he's like, all right, I need to go have a cigarette. And I had to go down. We're talking like San Fran stairs, too, and those slot houses. It was quite a run.
San Francisco stairs. I've never been to San Fran, but I hear stories.
It's crazy now, man. I wouldn't, like, the register's like, we're looking for a writer. It's like, can't afford to live there.
Yep. I gotta use Herman Miller. What's a Herman Miller? I'm gonna guess fancy chair.
Mm-hmm. I know the cord's so thick and a bit shorter on these new headphones, man. Like, if I go down on a bowl, this is taking the mixer with it.
This is actually braided cord on these.
Yeah, so are my other ones.
Yeah.
Those are good enough to
Well, these were just the cheapest 7.1 surround headphones that ever existed. The sound quality is ass, but it is in fact 7.1 surround for the 3 Linux games that support it right now.
You never know, man. There might be another one.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I don't even... for the review, yes, I'll put it on, but if I'm just playing, I normally don't have the headsets on, man. I just got some Slater pumping through the Sonos, and I'm just jamming out to that, playing whatever, which is kind of a juxtaposition. What is juxtaposition?
Yes, that's a word.
Which is always fun when you're playing the cutesy, fun, artsy Hollow Knight.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's probably not the intended backing track.
But sometimes it fits. That's the magic. I do that too. I usually have like a YouTube playlist, like podcasts or videos I want to listen to. Music, there's some music spotted in between it. But yeah, it's I usually don't even use the headset for games, just those that I know that support surround, because if they're just mono, I'll use the speakers, because the speakers have a pretty nice subwoofer underneath the desk right now that gives it a nice sound.
I got a big fat Altec Lansing subwoofer with like 5 speakers and somewhere piled. Actually, I know exactly because I went on a cleaning spree like last month. Those things are old. They probably still work, but no. I'm just headsets. It's one of the weird transitions. Because growing up, I always had friends that would only do their gaming or their computing with headsets on. Little did I know what my future had for me, but yeah, I was always the one who was like, oh, let's put some big speakers. Let's actually run that through a preamp. Let's crank it up, make the floor shake, and yeah, things have changed.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Steve, have a great lunch.
Lunch. Yeah.
I genuinely hope it's very slippery. I don't know what people in LA eat, but I heard it's slippery.
I think it makes you a beast just by looking at it. Which then I have to ask, what the hell has Strider been eating? Because I'm pretty sure he's thinner now.
What do you mean?
Because Strider, he lives in California,
Mm-hmm.
and he's thinner now than he used to be.
But if he finally get a job, he can afford more food.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, Strider we're talking about, man. I mean, crepes, first of all, the caloric value of crepes, not that much. And
Yeah. He probably also buys that whole cereal baguette bread thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, I told you.
Of course,
I told you he was thinner.
Yeah, I just remembered one time I commented on his muffin top. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
And he made crepes yesterday. Strider, you're a living stereotype, man.
It's like we know you, man.
Yeah, no, these Herman Miller chairs,
Mm-hmm.
they look neat.
Like I said, I could not find a bright pink racing chair with a reasonable price on it.
Let's see. No, most of them are like black with just a pink stripe or a few,
Yeah.
pink
And
stripes.
I'm not going to mess around with it unless it's like
Yeah.
really obvious on stream. And look at the prices on. Oh, hello, Gorilla Place that pink tie. Oh man, do they make, if they make this in Venn size, I'll sit in that.
Bouncy, bouncy,
Yeah.
bouncy.
I guess the PC chairs were just. That's just no.
Yeah.
That's 35, 40 quid of material, most.
Yeah, that's probably that stupid faux leather. There was one of the models of these chairs that had that stupid faux leather. I sat in it for 10 seconds, not even that. And when I got up, I could hear my back peeling off the faux leathers. Like, really? Okay, no. We're getting the breathing tissue one.
No, you see, that's Morty. When I'm sitting on the bowl, then that's when you know the heat and humidity has gotten to the point when you get up and you have that little bit of surface friction when you're peeling off. You know, you're like, yeah, time to cut on some cooling air thing. Herman Miller Arian chair is what I'm on. See, I can sit on anything. I'm sitting on a chair that is 40, 45 years old, made out of a whiskey barrel with like the big steel riveted things holding it together. I mean, this thing weighs more than a sun monitor. I know.
Yeah.
I moved it in here.
This one, I only bought it because I was sitting on the 35 euro IKEA chair. The same one for many, many years. Ever since I moved up north here. It's like, oh yeah, cheapo, reasonably comfortable IKEA chair, let's go with that. But then my lower back went, yeah, no, we're having none of that. So I got this one that has pretty firm and comfortable lumbar pillow. And it's got the neck pillow here, and the seat is really nice.
You see, I know my back's all jacked up, and I'll tell you why. Because Turbojet has got all that bullshit built into it with it, where it fucks with your back and like lines it up, and all that's adjustable. And if I sit in that thing long enough, especially when I'm driving up to the station on Saturdays, I'm like, oh, this hurts my back. But it's one of those things like, no, this is aligning your back. Lean into it.
Which is why I have the back of the chair all the way up, because that way, if I am sitting up, my back is lined up with the chair back.
Here's another thing, though. I never lean back. It's another one of those miswires. Like, even when I'm driving, I can't lean back. It's like, nope,
I do.
Nope.
So you lean on the steering wheel?
No, I've never used a headrest, man.
It depends. If it's like a long drive and I've been sitting there for a while, I will use the headrest. But usually I am leaned all the way up to my shoulders, and then my head is up straight.
I know people who will just lay back like that. I cannot. No.
Lowriders, yeah, no.
Not even like. That's not even what I'm hinting at. Is like lowrider stuff. It's just like way too. It's like that's a weird driving position, man. I don't know. Then again, this is primarily in America, and guess what? People here, they don't know how to drive a manual, so they've never had to change gears. Push in a clutch regularly.
Mm-hmm.
They never fit you. Or what do you do? I think you mean they never reach you, Joe.
Yes. And this one, the neck pillow here is actually removable. Yeah. So you can literally put it anywhere. If you want 2 lumbar pillows, you can. Yeah, that one has a lumbar pillow too.
Yeah. Yeah, the Model 3. They say the Model 3 is going to start shipping.
And apparently, they found Ubuntu on the Model S.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, dead honest right now, if I found out they were running embedded Windows, I wouldn't buy one. I'm not making that up if you know anything about me.
I believe you.
The Model 3 is going to be under $40,000. Supposed to go on sale at the end of this month.
That's like, yeah, no, you're buying a Tesla. You didn't know you were buying a Tesla, but you're buying a Tesla.
I drive by a Tesla dealership every Saturday.
That's actually one of the reasons I am kind of glad to be moving to the UK, is because, yeah, there's a lot more Tesla over there than there is here in Portugal. There is no Tesla here in Portugal. None.
I have one guy, he's got a 2nd-gen Model S, and I think there's another one that I've seen. I'm the opposite of whatever nosy is. I don't care. It's like, I wonder, I don't care. So that's definitely a thing. But yeah, that price, here's the issue though. Here's some real first world problems. And I know when it's like, Venn, it's like, dude, I've been saving for this Tesla for 6 years. All right. So, meh.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, that car was, let's see, 4 or 5 years of saving. Just not spending money at all. Just saving as much as I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the problem is when the Model 3 comes out, it's going to drive the prices of the Model S down.
Oh, I see.
Then I'm going to be looking at, because the prices of used Model S's right now are mid-40s for ones that just haven't been dogged down. They start, that's going to be hard.
Get the spaceship.
Spaceship, what?
Yeah, the Model S with all the flashy LEDs and the blings and everything.
Oh no. I like the Model S. I don't like the Model X. My buddy Wesley. Well, then I like his model. He's got the 1st-gen Model S, and just got the Model X. I mean, just got like 7 months ago. It's a $100,000 station wagon, dude. I'm sorry. It's fast, but there's no sexy to it.
No, if we're talking like getting a car for the sake of sexy, I would still very much like to get my hands on the Shelby GT500KR. They don't make them anymore. There's a few very good ones in very good condition out there. I would very much like one of those.
I don't really care, man. When it comes to like playing with cars, I drive around in a 4-door saloon, a little 4-door VW Jetta, man. So
I have a four-door hatchback, teeny tiny four-door hatchback. It's cheap. It's cheap on the gas. Maintenance. Well, there is no maintenance. The only thing I had to replace on that car was the battery because the one that came from factory was faulty.
What's
That's
with
it.
the deal with the Ryzen 3 release dates? Man, that's speculationsville. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. The Ryzen 3s would be Intel's competition to the i3s, and they were the supposedly non-hyper-threaded or non-simultaneous multi-threaded parts.
Yeah, with the SMT.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the market outside of like mobile parts, maybe.
Yeah, mobile, like laptops, if you want to go for the budget.
Because the i5s are kind of pushing it for a desktop build.
Yeah. I mean, if all you're doing is gaming, then yeah, the i5 7600 is the processor you're looking at because 4 cores, not hyper-threaded, so that single-threaded performance. Zzz.
Lotus Salon.
Mm. No, if I was to get a car in the UK, it would be BMW M1. Bare bones freaking car, and I love it.
I think my 912's still in storage somewhere. It was a rusted out piece of nope when I had it. But
Yeah, no, I like the M1. They were a very BMW where they kind of pulled a Nintendo on that one because they made less than 6 digits of those cars in production. So they are very rare, but they're not exactly expensive. They're for like 20,000, 30,000 pounds. You can get an M1. And they're almost like a sports car, but in a teeny tiny package. I like it. I like just the concept of the thing. I like it a lot.
Unless I got something. I own the complete opposite motoring vehicles between reliable and it's like, does it feel like cutting on today?
I mean, you do still have the Pantera.
I got that though. That's just a death trap. That's all that thing is. I was talking about my '79 Magnum.
You also have the Magnum.
Great car, daily driver. I drove that thing for like 2 or 3 years. Every day. It's not so good on the gas mileage there though.
No, you get what, 7, 6?
Yeah, good day.
Yeah.
At idle. Downhill.
In neutral, yeah.
A little bit of wind at the back, you know.
Yeah, no. But I guess that's the thing. If you want big honking muscle car like a Magnum, a Charger, Super B, something like that, yeah, you're not worried about gas mileage all that much.
Himber web chair. A chair with
yeah.
See, if I show up with a chair that has a seat bone, I'm just thinking I'm going to get into something delightfully kinky. This is not going to involve computers.
Well, yeah, that's actually not too bad an idea. If you have a junkyard near your place, find a car that still has the seats in reasonable condition. Ask the owner how much he wants for just the one seat, and weep, and then go look somewhere else because he asked for too much money.
There's a couple of junkyards. I know a good place they don't care. You can just cut it out. The new, I don't have anything against the Camaros. There's just too many of them, and I'm that type of person. It's just like I'm on the level of almost being a hipster. It's like there's just too many of them.
Let's see. Muscle cars. I had to pick one, I'd probably say the Impala. The 60s, late 60s, early 70s Impala.
See,
I
Chips
really
has
like.
got the right idea. Yeah, about 20, 40 quid. Yeah, you just got to pull it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which, 2, 4, 6, 8 bolts ish.
Mhm.
Oh,
Or if you
the
if you don't
ceiling
want to take it
structure
out of
would
the
only
railing.
support me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's just a matter of finding one that is still in good shape.
That's good, Jim. Yeah, it's one of those. It's a time-honored tradition. It's like, all right, cars, and it's like, man, how long you been on Slashdot? Like from back in the day, where everything was explained with a car analogy.
Yeah.
So there might be a connection. All right, I think we're past our 4:15 mark. What do you got to do this evening, Pedro?
Eat dinner because Nori's parents are actually downstairs, so Nori's mom cooked.
What'd she cook?
I don't know. It's a bit of a surprise, so when I get down there, I'll know.
Maybe they made you a special dish, just for you.
As long as it's not fish. Good.
It's all the fish, man.
No, I think I saw meat when I went downstairs to fill up the little mug here before we started.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's meat.
It's just, so what are we having tonight? Meat. Meat and porridge.
I didn't see anything else. I'm assuming meat. I don't know what else.
All right. Yeah, perfect time to make fish and chips.
Again, if it doesn't taste too much like fish, I'm okay with it. Like canned tuna, love it. I will open up a can, let the oil out of the can, and then I'll eat it.
Yeah, just pour enough hot sauce and vinegar on it. You'll be good, man.
Yeah. Some hot sauce. If I want to get fancy with it, I'll take it into a bowl, slice up some lettuce, some tomatoes, a bit of onion, and some oregano, and just mix it all up with some mayo, and hey, tuna salad.
I just eat the can. All right, beautiful people. We'll do something Thursday. We got a stream coming on. No idea what's going on. We might be covering the live feed of the plane that crashed in transit to Heathrow.
No, it's not Heathrow, it's Stansted. And if I see any one of you...
That was diverted from Sanson and attempting to land in Heathrow.
If I see any one of you in Stansted waiting for me, I will probably shake your hand.
Too easy. All right. Bye, everyone.